yo, Rose Tan here, coming at you live. Welcome to Rose Tan Talks, Rose Tan Lifestyle. Today's special guest, we have Chris Anthony. Oh my God, I've been following his work for quite some time now. He's this amazing tarot reader. He has some amazing full-on insights in how he reads his tarot cards. We are about to let him into the show and see what he has to say. I'm just really excited to have him on the show and yeah, to share his insights and his story and his journey to get him where he is today. So give it up for Chris Anthony, and that's his usual saying to start off his readings. Like he actually goes, "What's going on, y'all? Chris Anthony here, coming at you live and direct." I just love that. Give it up, guys, for Chris Anthony. I'm gonna bring him in now. All right, y'all. Awesome. Oh my God.
That'll
okay,
work.
Thank you for being here. Oh, how's your night been? What time is it there now?
It's 6:30 p.m.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I'm just guessing that you've done many readings for the night, for the day.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I work better like going into the night, so I haven't done any for the day yet. Like I start usually around 7:30, 8:30, and then I like stay up till like 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, 7 a.m. sometimes. Yeah, that's like my work schedule. So
dude, we could have done
during the daytime, I don't really do anything.
Then.
Right, exactly.
I was at 8:30 a.m. for this, and I'm getting dolled up. But anyway, no. I was up already by the crack of dawn at 4 a.m. for the last 7 days for this Tony Robbins 7-day comeback challenge. I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna get out of my comfort zone, be consistent, and just do the grind. You know, get up at 4 a.m. and just get into that peak state and scream.
4 a.m.
I'm a warrior.
Right. How is that working out? Like, does that feel good for you?
It hasn't gotten any easier. Just getting up at 4 a.m. and sometimes having my kids in bed, it's like I have to sneak out of bed just to get out and get into peak state. I'm like, how do I do this in mute mode?
Right. I can't. I'm not a morning person. Like, I stay up. I'm a night owl, so I can stay up into the morning. But waking up in the morning, no, it's not me.
This is why I did. I just told myself it's just 7 days. 7 days of getting up at 4 a.m. You can do it. I think it's a self-discipline.
Wow.
Get up and do it. You know.
Yeah, for 7 days, I probably can do it. Yeah, now a month, that's a problem. Like 30 days is a problem. So I don't know.
I don't know if you heard this whole thing that's going on about, you know, intermittent fasting, juice fasting, celery juicing and stuff.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. Like, to be honest, I was actually researching that last night because I wanted to kind of start a fast, but I wanted it to kind of be like a little bit on a more spiritual level type of fasting. Yeah, so but I was looking up intermittent fasting too, so I was like, what should I do? But I need to do something. Like,
it's kind of like
so I don't know.
You know, it's kind of like it just eases you in because you can eat, but after what 9 hours, what is it? 9 hours of eating solids, but then after that you can't eat for the next 16 hours straight, and it just
got it. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that. So I want to try that. I did a fast before, but it was like years ago. And it was like probably, I think it was like a 21-day fast. And that was fun. Yeah, it was like from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. And then you would eat after, 6 p.m. But it was a 21-day fast. It was fun. Yeah. It was fun. It was like a big group of people. So it wasn't just me alone. So it kind of made more sense to do it like with a group of people. But yeah, it was fun, to be honest. Like on a spiritual level, the vibrations were just like high, all the way up here. Like,
well, hook me up, buddy. I want to do it.
Yeah, out of this world. Yeah, that's what I would say, do. I would recommend that for anybody. Like 21 days, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yep. Like you will feel like you can fly, like floating on cloud nine.
I fly.
It's crazy.
Let's get high.
It's crazy. So you may want to try that one.
All right, man. Pass on the details.
I don't know. It may work for you.
Awesome. Okay, ready for my first question?
I am so ready. Let's go.
Woo, let's do this. Okay, Could you tell us, because I'm really keen, because I've been following your work for quite some time now, and I just love your style and how you deliver your insights, your messages, like, you know, like how the spirit guides you and how you just deliver it. It's like your unique sense of style, and I feel like I can
Right.
relate to it. I can actually understand what you're trying to say. Your messages gives me, you know, apart from certainty and clarity, it gives me kind of more like a heart and soul in-depth understanding. So
Right.
it's very deep and spiritual, and you don't rush it. You're just so cool and chilled. I'm like, yeah, he's got swag, man. I like this guy.
Right.
Could you
Thanks.
tell us
Yeah.
your story? Like, what's your journey like? Like, what brought you here to embark on this tarot world?
Yeah, and that's crazy. So I would say I first ran into the tarot world and community back in 2016. And that was like a year when I was really having like my dark night of the soul type of like experience. Like I had always been kind of like on a spiritual path, but I had like a really like deep true awakening on in 2016. And that was when everything for me was just going crazy, falling apart. I had lost my job. Like I was about to like lose my apartment, no money, lost my car. Everything was just like going down the hole. So that's when I kind of like started tuning into tarot from then, because I felt like, okay, this is something spiritual. Nothing makes sense. It's not logical making sense. So like I have to tap in and see what's going on in the spiritual way. So I started having like an awakening around that time, and I got it like all of these channeled messages start coming through. And during that time, I had like a notebook, and I would just like write down all these different messages that were coming out of nowhere. But the messages that I got helped me out, and they kind of like woke me up to, you know, bring me out of the place that I was in that was like heavily depressive and just so anyway, on this I started after that big awakening on this dark night of the soul journey, where like I was just dealing with my deep fears and emotions. And if you guys are familiar with that, you know, like that dark night of the soul is not easy to deal with. So that's when I started tapping into tarot. And the first tarot reader that I tapped into was Alchemy and You.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know if you heard about her, but yeah,
She's
back in
insane.
2016, she was the best tarot reader that I had ever came across. I was like, how do you know that? So that kind of got me like pretty much like obsessed with tarot a little bit.
Hmm.
And I started like just watching it a lot, but I never was doing it myself. Now, the way that I hopped into like actually doing readings myself and like dealing with the cards, that didn't happen until 2018, 2 years later. And during that time, like, sorry to say, like crazy, but I was like in a crazy relationship, right? So it was really like love that got me into like tarot even deeper.
Oh,
And
wow.
during that time, I really got obsessed, because I was like, what's going on with this relationship? And it was almost like one of those kind of like twin flame type of relationships, where the feelings were like very deep, intense, and I didn't know what was going on. And it was like transforming me. So I would like listen to tarot all day, every day for the whole year of 2018. I didn't do anything else but listen to tarot readers, because I was trying to figure out what was going on like with my love life. So that was really what like started to teach me tarot. Because before I was just like watching just for like entertainment, and I liked how people said stuff and it resonated with me, and I was like, oh yeah, that's me, that's my life. But 2018 was when I really like locked in, and I listened so much that like I was learning it, and I didn't even know that like I was like consciously learning it. It was just
Oh
like
my
it
God.
was on repeat, like all day, every day, like 24 hours a day. I was listening to tarot, right? So yeah, that's what happened. And then sorry for like going on a long tangent,
Oh, go
but
ahead. Fine.
yeah, like
This.
so that was when I was just like studying tarot. So then towards the end of that year, the end of 2018, like I just decided to like pick up the cards myself, and I ordered one deck of cards because I was so obsessed with it. I was like, all right, so let me just see if I could do this and try it out and see if I can like read like other people read. And I had a roommate at the time, and I started just doing messages for him and like like reading his life and telling him what was going on in his relationship and like at his job. And he was like, what, like, how are you doing this? And then like other friends would come over and I would read for them. And I was like, you know what, I may have a gift here. Like, and so after I did that for like a couple of weeks, I decided to just start uploading my own videos. And then it was just like history from there. Like a lot of those like people
Yay.
come and they were like, you have a gift and blah, blah, blah. So that was my story, my intro to tarot or to becoming a reader. Yeah.
That is amazing, Chris. I can't tell you that, you know, most people would shy away no matter how big of a gift and talent they have. They're just so held back by fear and self-doubt that they don't trust their intuition. But you went ahead with spirit and you let them guide you. It was like you were just
Right.
no shadow of a doubt, and you went for it full steam ahead.
Yeah.
Your family and friends vouched for you. They were rooting for you. Oh my God, I wish I had those people in my life.
Right. Yeah, I just went for it. And you know what? The crazy thing is, before I actually started doing the tarot readings and uploading them to YouTube, I was actually trying to be like a social media comedian. So the weird thing is I was used to uploading videos and I was used to kind of like coming on camera, and I had kind of like got over like that camera shyness, even though now I read off camera because it's just easier. But I think it was because of that, because I was used to like uploading comedic videos, that I kind of didn't have a problem with like taking the leap to do tarot, because that was nothing to me. Because before I was like dressing up and like doing little skits, and that to me was more scary than like reading cards. So for cards, it wasn't like really a big deal. Yeah,
Oh my
it was
goodness.
crazy that way.
So you didn't need any formal training. I mean, results speaks for itself. Look, I mean, this is what Tony Robbins says too, you know. He doesn't have a PhD, but he has a PhD in results. I'm thinking that's what everyone wants. They want results, right? The outcome, the
Right.
desired outcome. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Wow.
Definitely. Yeah, I didn't need like any training or like to, and it's crazy because for other things I would have like in the past looked to like do a class for it or connect with somebody else that was doing it. With tarot, for some reason, I just felt so drawn to it that I didn't feel like I need like any type of training or, yeah, it was just like there. Like I knew that I kind of had it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna upload videos. It's a wide open community, wide open space. Like, why not just do it? And I just went for it. So yeah, it
I
was
love that.
crazy.
And you are like helping so many people out there around the world. And it's like, oh my God, I'm all the
Yes.
way from Australia. And it's like, I'm so connected to this guy. I was going to ask him to have an interview. I have to pick his brain.
Yeah, that's what surprises me the most too, when I connect with
What?
people like from other countries, and I'm
Yeah,
like, "What? You're from Australia? From Canada? You're
that's so
from
different.
Africa? Crazy!" Yeah, like that's crazy. Like I would have never expected. I didn't think that it was going to happen that way.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't know what was going to happen. I was just like, you know what? Everything else is really not working. Let me just try this, and
Oh,
I did it, and I was surprised at the results. Like, to be honest with you,
what I'm
crazy.
sensing here is that since you took that big leap of faith, of, you know, just stepping in with both feet in and just diving in deep, it was like, didn't you do you feel like there was opportunities landing right after the next, and it was like just doors opening, and there's, you know, good better people attracted to your life, you know, to bettering you, and, you know, to upskill you or to help you grow and expand and advance? It's just, it's amazing how what spirit and the universe can give us.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And it was crazy when it came down to tarot because it started happening so quickly. Like the opportunities and the people that were drawn to my channel and like the people that were commenting and saying like, you helped me so much. I was surprised. And I think that was the thing that made me stick to it, because I never like wanted to really like commit to it, or I never saw myself, envisioned myself being like a tarot reader. But
Yeah.
like seeing the response, that I knew it was something, because like I said, I had tried a couple of different things. Like I tried to do like a teaching type of thing on YouTube. I tried to do like the comedian on social media. I tried to do like a lot of different careers or like entertainment, I would say. But with tarot, it connected so quickly.
Yes.
Like it was just like that. As soon as I uploaded videos, people came out of the woodworks like, hey, we love what you do. You're gifted. You helped me so much. Like, so that's how I knew this was like my path. It was something that I was supposed to stick to. After trying a lot of other things that kind of didn't catch that type of traction, this one did. So I was like, okay, this is it. Like, I'm supposed
Oh
to be
my
doing this.
goodness.
Like, yeah.
So inspiring. Speaking of
Yeah,
being
crazy.
inspired, apart from Natalie, Alchemy, and you, who else inspires you? Like, what inspired you?
When it came down to like tarot readers,
Yeah.
so many. I loved in the beginning. I loved the Quietest Revolution, Amber Khan.
Yes.
She was like one of my first, almost like teachers of the tarot.
Same
Because
here.
with Natalie, I loved her messages, Alchemy and You. Like I loved how they flowed. But with Amber Khan, she kind of like taught me the meanings of the cards and how, because I like the way she would break it down.
Yeah.
Who else? Another big one was what is her name? I always forget her name. It's she's pretty big too, and she almost quit towards the end of last year. And then
Priscilla?
she came back.
Is it
What?
Priscilla?
Who?
Priscilla.
Could have been. You know, it's so many. Another one was I forget readers' names all the times.
So
But
many.
another
Yep.
one, she quit reading, and she had, I think, lupus or something like that.
Oh
That kind of got
no.
in her way. She was blonde hair. She was so good though.
Oh my God. Okay, so she's not a tarot reader. She reads by animal totem or something.
Right, that's her.
I love
That
her.
is her. I love her. I'm so mad. I was mad when she left. I was like,
Same.
no. And yeah, she had like a couple of people like really like stalking her or something like. So it was crazy, but she was big. She was. I loved her
Adeline. That's
reading.
her name. Adeline.
Yeah, Adeline
Yeah,
Bond. Yes.
that's it.
I love her. So
Dang.
her, Amber Khan, Alchemy and You. And then it was maybe a couple of other people that really like inspired me, and I was just like, you know what, I can do this.
Sasha Bonison.
Yeah, and I watch them all. That's the crazy part. Even to this day,
Same
like
here.
I still watch every single tarot reader that I like love. Like I probably have like 30 to 40 readers that I just watch. Like I'm still obsessed with it to this day. It may be kind of
Oh
an
my God,
addiction,
you're
but like I like
inspiring
it.
me to start learning how to read tarot too, because I've been watching it for years now, but I just haven't really, dive in deep and to study each card in their meaning. So it just sounds so complicated. I was like, okay,
right.
I'll just leave it.
And it kind of seems that way in the beginning. But I guess, like I said, that whole year of 2018, when I was just like listening to readers over and over again, I just became like a lot comfortable with it because I would see like a lot of repeating themes, and like they will always hold up this card like 5 of Wands and this means this. And I just learned from the readers like really agreeing on all of the general meanings of the cards. And so I never had to go like through the deck and like learn it one by one and study it that way. I never had to do it. It was weird. It was crazy.
That's phenomenal. That's pretty gifted and talented there, Chris. Oh my God, I'm in awe. Wow.
It's crazy. I was surprised, so believe me. That's how I knew this was like my path, because the way that it just opened up. Because usually I don't like learn that quickly when it comes down to things like that complicated. So yes, it's crazy.
Okay, moving on. Do you have any deities, like any spiritual animals, or any what sort of spirit animals do you have, or deities?
Oh, like you said like animal guys or like spirit guys or
even spirit guides,
anything like that. It's crazy because to be honest, I don't. It's weird because I always like hear other people talk about that, and like they say I connect with my spirit guides, or I have like this spirit animal, or like totems, but I have never really connected with like anything outside of me, which is very crazy. And I know that I get guidance, like from the divine, and I would say like my higher self, because I do feel like I connect with a channel, and it always feels like I'm connecting with like this stream of consciousness.
Oh wow.
But when it comes down to like a specific like symbol or animal or person or guide.
Yeah.
I never really like became clear on that, to be honest. Like I have asked, like, do I have any spirit guides? And like multiple times I have asked, but I never get like any response on that. I know that I have to have like something that like helps me out, like, you know,
anyone
but
hear me?
right, like,
I'm doing this all
but
my
to be
own.
honest with you, yeah, like I never consciously, if it happens, it's more subconscious and I just can't see it.
Oh, wow.
But I know that I'm like connected with like the divine, and I would say
Yeah.
like the universe, God, source, whatever you call it,
Yeah.
because I feel that connection. But
Yeah.
anything specifically other than that, I don't really know of that I connect with.
You just sense, you only feel, you don't really see or smell or taste.
Yeah, I just mine is more so of a feeling. Like I get like an intuitive thing that happens like with my gut. I
Yeah.
feel from my gut. And other than that, like I can feel when I'm in the flow, when like my hairs on the back of my neck and shoulders start to like stand up.
Oh no.
And I can feel like it's like when I really connect with strong energy, or I feel like it's almost like a presence that I'm connecting with, then like I'll get goosebumps.
Wow.
Like around my neck, and my hairs will kind of stand up on like my shoulders and things like that. And I'll get kind of like flushed a little bit, like I'll get hot and I'll start like sweating just a little bit.
Oh
and so that's when I know like I'm really connecting with something. And other than that, it's more like an intuitive hunch or feeling that I feel that kind of like takes place like in my gut, and I just feel it. And it happens so often these days that I don't even really feel like the physical phenomena to it anymore. It's just like I know what I'm kind of like searching for. I know when it feels right. So I would say it is like a feeling, an emotion, and my like I connect with my intuition that way. If it feels good, if the message is flowing. Because even if you look at my readings that I do on YouTube, you could kind of like pick up a type of flow or rhythm that I use, like, and it's always kind of like a flowing message. If it's not flowing, then I know it's not right. And I'll kind of like stop or pause or like cut the video off and do it over. It has to be like a stream of consciousness that I tap into.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's kind of how my gift works. I would say it's like I connect with like this flowing river, and it's just always going. And whenever I jump into it, then the words just come, and I can just like channel it. Yeah.
So there's no visual, no audio. You don't hear or sense the type of sense.
Yeah, no visual. I really don't get any audio. Sometimes I get visuals, and whenever I get visuals, they kind of like come in the form of like movies that I've watched, or like shows, or music that I've listened to. Those are kind of like the clues that I get, and it kind of just helps me relay the message, you know. But other than that, that's it. Like they come, the visuals come like a lot slower than the feeling of how I like me feeling it. So I would say I'm more so like that. What do they call it? Like clairsentient? Is that like the feeling
I think
type of energy?
Clairsentient,
Yeah. Like I feel. Yeah, I don't really hear anything.
That's right.
Like clairaudience. I never heard anything outside of like my own thoughts, but like the feeling, I can feel it. Like I pick it up. Yeah.
Do you use any crystals, anything like that?
I do use crystals. I love amethyst. Like I connect with amethyst a lot. Quartz crystal, I connect with that. Those are my two major ones.
Yeah.
I like lapis lazuli too. I think that's another one. Lapis lazuli.
Yeah. Blue.
Right. I love that one. And just I try to have like at least enough crystals that connect with all 7 chakras. So whenever I need like to align that particular chakra, I'll go there and just like use that crystal. So I like crystals, yeah. And a lot of times I'll wear crystals like somewhere on my body. Like I'll have like tiger's eye. I forgot what this one is, but I'll wear like a stone or crystal somewhere like around my chest or my like wrist. Yeah.
Nice.
So I do like crystals. Yeah.
Beautiful. And do you lay them on your table during and before your tarot readings?
Yeah, I do. I leave them on my table pretty much. Like they never go anywhere, the crystals, because that's kind of like my sacred space. So the table that I use to read cards, like I keep my crystals there. I keep
more carefully.
Yeah. Like I kind of like just keep it there. And I use a lot of Palo Santos and what's the other one? Sage, white
Oh, yes.
sage.
White
Yeah,
sage.
before every reading, I will either do Palo Santos, burn it up, or white sage, depending on how my energy is, because I know they both do different things.
Mm,
So a lot of times, like recently, I've just been using like Palo Santos because it smells better, and
yeah.
it puts me in this more calming type of energy, just
Or
laid back
grounding,
and like,
centered.
yeah,
Era.
just yeah. But if I think that I need to like really clear some energy out from like a last reading, then I'll use the sage because that's more for like a clearing type of energy.
Yeah.
So I kind of like intuitively use those back and forth, depending on how I feel.
That's
Yeah.
insane. How do you actually handle, like, how do you manage your time and your energy in your space so that you can move on to the next star sign, and the next, wouldn't it drain your energy? How do you stay, connected to your source so that you can feel protected so you can carry on?
Yeah.
That's
Great
very
question.
hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. And at the very beginning, like when I first started doing tarot readings, that was the number one thing that I noticed, like the energetic drain that you have.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like in the beginning, I could only do like one a day. I would do like one reading for somebody and I would feel so drained. I had to go eat something really quick and
Oh,
like take a nap because it does take a lot out of you. That's when I noticed like this is real. I'm like, okay, this is some real energy. Like, so now that I do so many readings, I really just had to kind of like build up a stamina to it, like a resistance to that draining energy. And that came just over months and years, to be honest, because now I'm almost at like the 2 year mark of like reading cards. So to me, it was just like pushing myself to do more like within one day. And then it came down to pushing myself to do more within a week. And I kind of built up more stamina with it as time kind of passed. But the number one thing that I do really is just like rest, like go take a nap or lay down, do something else other than tarot readings. Like I'll go watch a movie, sit back, get real relaxed, just like in my zone.
yeah.
Sometimes I'll meditate, but to be honest with you, to be a tarot reader, I don't meditate that often, which is crazy. I don't know. I should meditate more, but I don't really meditate that much. All I really need is just like rest. Like,
Yeah.
let me just chill out, kick my feet up, like, sleep a little bit or just
Whatever
like,
works,
be in
man.
my own zone. So
Love that.
that's the only thing that I need, just rest in between. But now I would say my average of readings a day that I do is anywhere from like 3 to 4.
Three to
And I really can't go over that. If I go past 4 readings, then I'm really like pushing it.
Yeah,
If I
work on
get like the
self-love.
5 and 6, it's like a miracle. Because I've done 6 before in a day, but that's like miraculous type of energy. Like my energy has to be at an all-time high, and then I'll be drained the next day. So it's more so like 3 or 4 just to like keep myself balanced a little bit so that the next day I can come back and do it again. So
Yeah.
I stay like 3 to 4 readings a day. And yeah, all I need is rest. That's it.
So would
Yeah.
you say that momentum is also takes into consideration? Like once you get into that rhythm and flow, then your spirit can guide you still, not just give you chunks and blocks of it and saying, nah, man, time for you, Chris, to rest up or something. You can't handle it all.
Right. I think momentum does help, especially with the way that I upload readings to YouTube. Because, like all tarot readers, like if you look at their work, they're always uploading.
Yeah.
Like I do about 24 to 30 videos a month. And that's just free videos that I give. And then on top of that, I have a lot of personals that I do. So I think momentum helps because it's like you stay in the flow of doing it. Like you said, you stay intuitively just plugged in to
Yeah.
that source, and like me being able to like relay the messages becomes a lot easier. If I take a break for like 2 to 3 days or 4 days off, then it's kind of like I feel rusty, like 3 or 4 days
Wow.
because I'm not in tune, I'm not connected, I'm not
See, I
relaying that
thought
message.
it would be the other way round. I thought you need rest. You need to be rusty in order for you to get back into it, and then spirit will reconnect you. I thought it's the other way around.
Yeah, well, it's both ways. Sorry about that. I don't know why I have messages. It's
Oh,
kind of like both ways happening,
yeah,
because sometimes you just need time off just to rest up, like I said, and I'll take like 3 or 4 days off after I get like all of my beginning of the month readings out, you know, and those are like 12 for all zodiacs. Then I'll rest for like 3-4 days and then get back to it unless I have personals lined up. So it works both ways. It's like sometimes I just need time off, and some days I need to just keep it going because like I'm just on a roll. Like if I feel like I'm on a roll and I'm just my messages are coming out so clear and people are really drawn to them and they're loving them, then I want to keep it going. It's like I'm in the zone, like I'm plugged in, you know. And if I would take a break at that moment, then it was kind of like I would unplug and like I would miss all of those messages that are coming through. Yeah. And then I'll have to like plug back in and get like a whole new set of messages. So if I'm just like feeling the downloads coming, then I want to be reading, like, because I feel it. I'm like, oh, I need to get this out. Yeah. And I know when that happens, I intuitively feel it. And I'm like, okay, let me just do this. Let me go. And then at other times when it's just not flowing and it's not coming, then I rest, I chill out. I'm like, let me rest, because I know if I'm not plugged in, it's because I need rest.
That's
so,
it.
Yeah.
You only feel at the end of the day. Oh, God. Do you have a favorite star sign that you like to just tune in and say, woo?
A favorite what? What was that?
Favorite star, like a favorite star sign.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy. I would say now it's pretty much the star signs that come out the most for my readings, you know, that I kind of like love connecting with, because I like when everybody comes out and they like give me their feedback on it. So I would say right now it's Taurus and Capricorn. And for the longest time, it has been, because they've always been my #1 supporters. Like they just come out, they show love, like they get readings, they get personal readings, they like, you know, comment all over my channel. And they have really been why my channel has grown to where it is, even though I'm not like the biggest, you know, channel, but it's been Taurus and Capricorns that have like supported me the most. Yeah. So yeah, I love them right now. But I love reading for my own sign too, Pisces, because it like I feel like I can connect with them the most because it's me, you know. So, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of like sometimes I don't like reading for Pisces because I feel that I don't want my personal life to kind of like come out in the reading, you know? And that's always like one of my fears. Yeah. So it's like, I love reading for Pisces, but it's only like when I'm like doing pretty good in life and I know that like I'm not getting my own like emotions mixed up with his reading. So I have to really like be careful with Pisces or like Sagittarius, because I'm Pisces sun and moon and Sagittarius rising. Yes. So whenever I do their readings, I'm like very careful because I want to separate myself from it as most, you know, best I can. But yeah, I would say Taurus, Capricorn, Pisces. I love them. I love Sag too, because their energy is like very fiery. To be honest, I love all signs. Like I love just getting that different perspective.
Because everyone like, has, it feels like a fallback sign, isn't it? You know, like the sun, moon, rising sign, ascendant sign, right? So yeah. So that's called what, an outlet and inlet, isn't it? A fallback sign is an inlet sign. Is that what you guys call it?
Ooh, I never heard that term used, outlet or inlet. I just only heard like, you know, sun sign, you know, moon sign, and then ascendant. I know they kind of like stand for, I think like the ascendant is how you like show up when people first meet you, like, or how people look at you when they don't really know you before they get to know you or something.
Kind of like the external and the internal version. See, I'm a double Leo, so I'm a Leo.
Okay.
Rising Leo.
Wow, double Leo. Oh yeah, fiery.
Full on, right?
Right. Yeah. That's pretty good though.
Oh yeah, it's too much for me to even hand. To be honest.
I would say I'm too much water. Like I don't like being this watery. To be a double Pisces.
Double Pisces?
Yeah, I'm sun and moon Pisces.
Oh my God! So, anyone who's a double besides me.
Yeah. I'm a double Pisces. So like I feel how you feel, like too much fire. Like you're saying, I get too much water, and I'm like too much emotion.
You like dive
too
like
much
I'm not gonna stay afloat.
Right, like I can't take it. Like so, sometimes I need a break from myself. Like for real. Like, the older I get, the better it is. Yeah, right. Like please, Like sometimes I try to slide over to the Sagittarius side of myself. Like I need fire right now. I'm tired of water. I'm tired of emotions. Like please let me get to the fire. Like that's most of the time when I just work. Like whenever I want to escape my emotions, which may not be that healthy, I just go work. Because my Sagittarius side is all about like work, doing something, action, fire. So I like that I at least am saved by Sagittarius. Like whenever like I'm too much in my emotions, like it's crazy.
I feel like the only way to save me is just to jump in the bathtub full of ice water or something.
Right. She can't take it.
No, man.
Yeah, I don't know how it feels to have too much fire. So I would love to experience like that for even like for one day, just feel fire and not water.
It's intense.
That would be fun.
Say that.
Gosh. Yeah. So
apart from reading star signs, individual star signs, do you also read like how the Mercury retrograde will impact like fire signs, water signs, air signs, or do you do any of those type of readings too, or just
I don't really, and to be honest, I would love to do that because I do like astrology, but I wasn't drawn to astrology as much as I was to tarot. Tarot is just like easy for me. Astrology to me is complicated and more like scientific, and it's like, but I love it at the same time. I just haven't really studied it enough. So the closest thing that I do to that is I used to do like full moons and new moon readings.
Ooh, okay.
So I don't really do it anymore because like I get so busy that to do that is just like another. But I talk about them during my readings. Like a lot of times I'll tell people like if I'm doing a Sagittarius reading, I'll say, yeah, you guys have like I feel this energy that's coming in for you with this new moon, and this new moon is in Cancer or something, and I'll feel that connection, But I don't get really deep into astrology, even though I love it. I admire the people that can do it, but I haven't really like studied it enough to like speak on it that much.
It just looks full on, just reading your birth chart. It's like, what is all these symbols and degrees?
It's deep.
What?
Yeah. Like I have studied my own birth chart. Yeah, like it's like I've studied my own birth chart, but like tapping in with other people and doing that like for the collective, I don't want to. I can't do that. That's where I draw the line. Like I'm good. Stop with the tarot. So.
Okay. Just two more questions, then I'll let you go. Okay.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Okay. How do you disconnect from your old past energy that no longer serves you? Like, how do you detach yourself completely? Like, I've been reading other comments from other readings, and also, just friends and people that I know who's just seeking my advice and asking me, how do they disconnect? How do they discord themselves from a ex, from a twin flame, from a fake twin flame? Because they're still hurt, they're still bruised, they're still traumatized of their breakups, and they just want some sort of a release. What would Chris Anthony's best advice be?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say the number one thing is really time. Because time just like I know it sounds cheesy, time heals all, but like for me, like on my spiritual path, that's the most like growth that I've ever seen happen has just been with the passing of time. Like I would be struggling with things for like years and months at a time, but then like all of a sudden I turned like, like 30 or 31 or 32. And then it just clicked, and I was like, oh, you know what? Like, that's not a problem for me anymore. Like, it's just, so I would say that's the first thing, like, just allowing time to pass. Other than that, I think it's all about the habits that you have and the things that you're drawn to that you do habitual. And for me, the number one thing that kind of, like, helped me grow with, like, detaching from, like, lower vibes or, like, energies was just, like, my habits. Like I remember during 2016 when I first had like that major big awakening or awakening that was on a deeper level, like I started to change a lot of things about myself. Like I changed the way that I ate. Like I went vegetarian for like 2 years, and like I ate no meat. And for me, it was like very good. I'm not vegetarian anymore, but it helped me like really clear out a lot of those like energies that maybe I have been holding on to for years and years and years. And so I started eating differently. Like I started exercising a lot more. So to me, it's kind of like what you're drawn to, that you love to do, that you fill your time up with, that's more positive or better for you, as opposed to things that bring your energy down or make you think about those lower vibrations or toxic people. You know, it's kind of like all about what you do every day. Like, so I try connecting with things that put me on a higher vibration, whether that's like cooking something healthy or like doing a smoothie or like trying to like work out and exercise and do something like just grounding that energy and like working on yourself is the biggest thing. Like I always say that that's the #1 thing that you can do, develop yourself in any type of way that you can.
Love
like
that.
grow in an area, just consciously try to push yourself to become better. Like every year in some sort of way. Like it doesn't have to be like a complicated goal or list that you make. Just be conscious of like, okay, I would love to work on this area of my life. I would love to become better in that. So
Yes.
every time I get a chance, every time I have free time, like I'm going to try to grow in this area of my life. And I feel like if you're growing, you don't have time to connect with those lower vibrations or toxic energies because you're working on yourself. You're becoming a different person. Like you're becoming a newer version of yourself every day that you're growing into this new space. So
Yeah.
that's the #1 thing that I would say to anybody, just like work on your personal self. Like
Love that.
really.
So mindset, isn't it? It's mindset. It's not just because I find that a lot of people who are just so even almost kind of like drowned into the spiritual realm, they neglect or even forget about their physical form, their 3D that's still here.
Yes.
And then they forget about their
Yeah.
mindset, their consciousness, their self-awareness, and they just
Right.
get too in that fantasy world of spirituality. I mean,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say a fantasy world, but that's another dimension where you need to connect them in
Right.
finally, if I said that right.
No,
But
that's true.
they need to balance that out.
It has to be a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people talk about it, spiritual bypassing, how people like use spirituality to really bypass their life or their issues or to really bypass the whole third dimension. And so I kind of like really touching on that because a lot of people love to live like in a 4D or 5D fifth dimension.
Yeah.
And they think they can bypass the third dimension. But you have to deal with it. Like you're here. This is where we live. And so I like really addressing those issues because a lot of people like to bypass it. And I think I've even been guilty of it. Like from time to time I'll get so spiritually or like, where I like almost I'm disconnected from my body a little bit. So sometimes I have to come back down into the body and be like, okay, what do I need to work on about myself today? Because I haven't like made it out of the third dimension. Like, okay, I need to like do some push-ups. Like I need to get on my body. I need to go for a run or something. Like I'm out of shape. Like, so yeah, it's like so I like keeping that balance. I think it's all about balance. And you can be spiritual and go to those higher dimensions and feel great and higher vibes and all that. But that is supposed to directly affect your third dimensional life. And if that's not happening, then it's something that you're doing wrong. Like if you go there, you meditate and you see, archangels floating around, or like you see like these new dimensional beings, but then you come back to the 3D and it looks terrible and you don't feel good and like you have bad relationships with other people. It's like then you have to balance it. Like
that just reminds me of someone that I know who plays video games. It's kind of like his way of an escape from reality. Just in that fantasy
it's escapism. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people do. Like they escape into spirituality to like not have to deal with their earthly problems, but you still are on earth. Like you still have to face it. So I think you should channel whatever you connect with those higher dimensions into this denser dimension so that it helps you look at things here with a different lens, with a different perception.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer in that, but then it's supposed to cause change on your 3D life. It's like, I think my theory is that we go to those higher dimensions or anything to see ourselves as an avatar here. to
Yeah.
like, you know, look at ourselves from an aerial point of view and or objective point of view, so that we can look and be like, okay, what do I need to fix or change in my life? Like, how can I make myself operate better? How can I make myself like run better? If you look at yourself like a vehicle. And so I use the spirituality to fix myself up in my third dimensional body and home. And like, it
Wow.
has to be that effect. It can't be the other way around, you know, like you can't escape it.
I
So
have noticed you've been injecting those kind of like mindset practices and, you know, your conscious awareness into your tarot reading. I'm thinking, this guy is very clever. He's very cluey. He's very intelligent, like very intellectual and emotional intelligent too. I'm thinking, okay, he's my guy.
thanks. Right.
I sense that, and I'm thinking this is really, really clever. Because I've watched a
Yeah.
lot of tarot readers, and most of them are just they forget about it's not about coaching or mentoring, but they stick into just that fifth dimension, and they forget about their audience or their clients' actual needs are, and they just go off
Right.
on a rant in a sense.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true.
Kind of like
And
a really
I don't like that, you know, like, yeah,
really
because
resonate.
yeah, and it causes frustration with people that like come to you for messages, because if
Yeah,
you just like are not getting to the point, like the root of the problems and issues,
yeah,
then they'll continually like be running around to different tarot readers just to tell them what they want to hear. Like, oh yeah, my lover is gonna come back, my twin flame is gonna come back to my life. But
yeah.
then we're bypassing the whole issue, like, okay, maybe you have to work on yourself a little bit. Maybe
Mm,
you don't have love right now because you have to love yourself. Maybe you have to invest into yourself, change your mindset.
yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, so I like going into those areas because I want to make it more realistic. You know, I don't want to have people like watching me for a year and then I just keep telling them the same thing over and over again. Like, yeah, your life is gonna get better. You're gonna evolve. Your lover is gonna come back. You're gonna get
We
a
can
lot of
do as
money.
I say.
Yeah, like, how are you gonna get this money? How are you gonna get love? How are you? I like to tell people the how.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you start to do this and you take on this type of mindset and you start to take action and
Mm,
you invest your energy into this, then yeah, you can get this. But if not, then you're probably going to get the same thing you've been getting, you know, which is nothing.
love
So
that.
I would say I'm a life coach before anything,
Oh,
before I
I
am a
was just
reader,
gonna
because
ask you
that's
that.
really what my passion is.
I sense
Yeah,
that.
like I love life coaching. Yeah, so if you pick that up in my readings, that's why.
Like
Like,
one. I'm a lifestyle coach.
right, right. Like I love life
Oh,
coaching, like just really getting to the
it's
root of
so real,
issues.
right? It's like we
Right.
are kind of like walking reality here. We've been through this stuff. We can actually help. We can guide you there.
Yeah. And to me, that's real spirituality. Like
Yeah.
spirituality is supposed to help you unlock yourself, activate yourself to become like the greatest version of who you are.
Mm,
Like if it's not doing that, then it's not really spirituality. Like if it's helping you escape who you are and just
yeah.
hope that life gets better, then it's not it. Like, you know, so
All right.
it's crazy. I
I
like
know.
that.
I said I have only two more. I'm gonna squeeze in one. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Like I like this. I like the conversation. So
Awesome. Okay. How do you handle all those negativity people out there who leave, negative comments? Do you have moderators,
right.
and would you tell them individually or tell them on your next video that you tell them, such as, like, if my readings don't resonate with you, maybe I'm not your right reader, there's plenty of other readers
Mhm.
out there. Like, how would you respond to those criticism?
Yeah, to be honest with you, like I'm surprised at how I do handle this, because before my channel kind of grew a little bit, I thought that would be one of my issues that I would have, like the people that have negativity or leave negative comments. Now, the crazy part is I don't get a lot of negativity on my channel, like
Woo!
at all. Like out of the 99% of people I read for, like it's maybe only like, out of 100%, it's only 1% of people that may be negative, and
Mm,
that doesn't even happen on a consistent basis.
wow.
Like, so I'm surprised that I don't get a lot of hate. I was, maybe if my channel grows a little bit bigger, then maybe the haters will come. But like mostly I get love. So when I do get hate, it's like really drowned out by the love. So I really don't even notice it.
Oh.
Like I'll see it and I'll be like, okay, like I'll kind of like laugh it off, like, okay, like you're a little bit mad. And to be honest with you, I learned something from Gary V about that, Gary Vaynerchuk, that a lot of people probably follow. And he said, like, whenever you see a hater, if you put yourself in their shoes and understand like how miserable their life is and like how many problems they're having, you'll have more sympathy for them.
Yeah.
Because you know that if you take this time to comment on somebody's channel that you don't know and like really spew your hate, you have to be pretty miserable in order to do that. So whenever I see people do that, I try to like be empathetic to like how they feel.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just let them know, like, you know, like it's cool, like, you know, I understand where you're coming from, like, and try to like just empathize with them instead of like just going to war with them and be like, well, if you don't want to watch this channel, you can go somewhere else. Like I see a lot of people do that. Yeah. And I don't know, because I think because it happens on such a small level with me, I really just sympathize with them. And I'm like, you know, like, I'm like, sorry that it didn't like help you out or that you didn't connect with it. Maybe you want to try like another one of my readings or like another reader. And I just come with that type of energy and it always like helps, you know? So it doesn't really affect me on that level. I just kind of like understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you do get frustrated.
Oh yeah. And yeah, they get easily frustrated because they come to you and it's like, that's not what I wanted to hear. It's like, it's more like a confrontation truth. So they don't like it.
Right.
It's kind of like
yeah.
But then it's sweet. If they really it sounds like a fun.
Sorry.
Messages.
Crazy.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Those negative people, they are in so much pain and they don't know how to express it in a way that people can understand them and resonate.
Yeah, that's all.
Relates. And yeah, so us as role models, we just got to step it up and say, look, I feel where you are coming from, and this is where your life coaching skills comes out and help and it aids. And this is why your channel is just so successful.
Thank you.
The comments that I read from other readers, they have a lot more negativity, but with yours, it's all love. It's all like, you know, love for all. It was so chill.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, I don't even know how that happens, but
you attracted that. You made it. You did it. You created this vibe, tribe, a community that everyone feels safe and welcome. It's very exciting, you know, and people trust you. And this is why people
definitely
back. Or, well, this is my opinion.
Right. No, and I thank you for that. Oh. Yeah, and it is like that. Like whenever I read over all of my comments, like I said, 99% of them are just like nothing but great comments. So I love that I can bring that. I think that motivates me a lot more to just like continue to bring the messages and be as authentic as I can.
Yeah.
And just like help people out in any way that I can, just to see people show that much love. So I like that happens, like, for sure. I hope that it stays that way, for sure. Like,
I'm pretty sure it will, man. All right, last one before we wrap it up, because I know
okay.
a lot too. Have you ever considered doing like not individual readings, but categorized readings, such as ones for career, one for money, ones for love, one for single?
Yeah, I have thought about that like a couple of times, and I've tried it a couple of times on my channel. And I guess I just got so used to doing like the zodiac sign readings and beginning of the month to the mid-month readings that I'm kind of like stuck there. But I do want to start introducing other type of themes into my channel too, you know, and not get stuck in that same old mode that I'm used to. So in the future, I do plan on doing a little more of that, you know, like, because I get a lot of different ideas of switching it up. So you will see that coming in the future. I just haven't really found a way to fit it in yet to my regular schedule. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, like if I'm going to change what I've been doing because I know that works, or am I just going to add on to that and add more content? So yeah, that'll be coming for sure in the future.
Oh, I love it. I
so
can't
look out for that.
I'll look out for it, man. All right.
Yes.
Last question, I promise.
Yeah, no problem. Keep them coming. I got all day here.
You got all night, hey?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm not getting started until the sun goes down here, and it's not down yet. So,
Okay.
yeah.
What makes you you? What makes you? Do you call yourself Chris Anthony, or is it Chris Harrell here?
Chris Anthony.
Chris
Yeah.
Anthony, come at you live and direct. Love that.
Right, live and direct. And what was the question? What makes me
What
new?
makes you? Yeah. What makes Chris Anthony Anthony
Oh, okay.
the chill, cool? You know, just so calm and just like swag. What makes you?
Right.
What makes you unique?
I would say just my. Okay, yeah. I would say my past experiences, like, to be honest, like my upbringing and my experiences that I've just had in life in general. Like, I used to be like in spirituality, I come from like a Christian background and I used to be a preacher. And so when I was like I used to be a preacher. So when I was a preacher, like it was such a different perspective that I had about life. And I was like one of those like Pentecostal type churches, like fire and brimstone, and like, just like taking life very seriously and like living by these exact rules, and had a lot of fear in my life, because of that. So coming out of that whole paradigm and coming out of religion and seeing spirituality from a different point of view really changed the way that I kind of like carry myself and represent myself. And I just don't take life as seriously as I used to back then, because for those 4 years that I was like a preacher, and I would say my whole life before that, because I grew up in a church, it was like life was all about fear and pleasing God and doing everything so that God wouldn't be mad at you and you wouldn't go to hell.
Yeah.
So really like working and building up the courage to do my own research and come from out of that stronghold of religion, it really changed the way, like I said, I view life in general, and my perception has changed. And so like I love having fun, I love like laughing, I love being laid back, I love being chill. And I'm so like nonchalant about life these days, because I just like used to take it so seriously and used to be so uptight. So like, all of my spiritual experiences and everything that I've seen in life in general just have like really broadened like the way that I view life and the way that I view people. So I take nothing seriously, and everything is like, almost like a comedy to me, even though life is serious and there's a serious side to it. I just don't, I'm very easy on myself. And so I think that kind of energy vibes out to other people too. And I go easy on other people too. So it's just like, I think that's it. And being Pisces and Sagittarius mixed together, I think that has a lot to do with it, because those two signs have very large worldviews. And so I'm not very condensed in the way that I view the world. And I'm always open, to like seeing things differently. And I know that I'm not right about like my own beliefs. Like it can always be wrong. There are no absolutes, is what I believe. So I kind of just carry that around in life, and I'm always open to like learning new things, because I know that I know nothing, like at the end of the day, like I'm just like learning life just like everybody else. So I would say that is the major thing that makes me me. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Oh gosh. When was your first taste of tarot reading? Like when was your first personal one?
My first personal reading for somebody?
Or yourself?
That I did, it was scary too. It happened not too far after I launched my channel. It was probably like a month and a half after I was doing readings. So then somebody just contacted me, and it was before I even had info posted that I was doing readings, but they just contacted me, and they were like, Chris Anthony, do you do like personals? I would love to like do a personal. And I was scared to do it. I was like, I don't know, like, because I don't want to tell this person something that's not true. And really, I just had to like work up the courage to do it. My roommate at the time really was helpful with that, because he was just like, man, just do it. Like, forget it. Like, you can do it. This is what, like, he was like, the way that your channel has been picking up and getting traction shows that you're gifted at doing this. So
Yeah.
just do it. Like whatever happens, happens. If they say like it doesn't resonate, whatever. So I just did it. And it was like a month and a half after I started my channel. And from there, like that person loved it. And they were like, oh my God, it's helped me out so much. So then I just started broadcasting it like, you know what? I do personals now. Like if you want to get a personal reading, contact me and I'll hook you up. And so, yeah, it was like history from then on.
That would lead me to my next one soon. But when was your childhood or your teenagehood growing up? When was your first personal reading for yourself? When you got a I don't know, like a white witch or a, you know, someone spiritual to read your journey?
Oh, when I kind of like tapped into somebody else reading for me?
Yeah.
Is what you're saying? Oh, okay. To be honest with you, it's crazy because the church that I was at, we always had, you know, the office of like a prophet and people that would prophesy. And to me, that's the same exact thing as psychics and people that read tarot. Yeah. So to be honest, that was the first time I was exposed to somebody that can like tell you your future. It was like a lady in the church and she was like a prophet. Yeah. And like I would like joined the church and she would just like tell people exactly what was going on in their life and what was about to happen. And so that was when I started to get amazed with it. And I was like, I like this. Like, how can you do this? And so later on in my whole church career, I actually became ordained as a prophet. And I would like start telling people, you know, stuff that I saw in their life. So that was my first exposure to it. And then years later, after I left the church and after like, you know, I started like searching out other spirituality and other spiritual terms. Then I ran into psychics. And I started getting readings from them, you know, and that was like more so in my like mid-20s. But my early 20s, that was when I just was like in church and I connected with like prophets, which were psychics. They just like name it differently. Yeah, and they would just like tell me things. Yeah, it's like the same exact thing. It's like me being used to like being a prophet. It's like the same energy that I connect with when I was like in the church and I was a prophet and it was supposed to be exclusive to Christians only, and they had this connection with God. It's like I connect to the same source being away from that whole like religious type of organization. So yeah, that's when I like got my first whiff of it, was in the church, and then I've always been fascinated with it after that, you know, like yeah.
And it just continued to grow.
But to be honest, was that?
And it just continues to grow and grow and expand.
Yeah, just continue to grow. Yeah. And the crazy part is I never really got any tarot reading from anybody personally. Yeah. Like for me, just watching people put out general readings have always been enough for me. Wow. Because if one tarot reader, and I shouldn't be saying this because I'm a tarot reader, like, but this is how it went for me. And it's probably because like back then, right, like, it's probably because back then when I first started, I didn't have like as much money. So I didn't have enough money to like invest in like getting my own reading. So I would just go to all of these different tarot readers and put the puzzle pieces together about my personal life. And one reader would say this and another reader would say that. And I would be like, you guys all make sense. And I would just like capsulate it into one reading. And I'll be like, oh, I'm good. Yeah. So that's how I did it. It probably doesn't work that way for a lot of people, but yeah, I got a psychic reading though for the first time when I was like maybe 23 or something, 23, 24. And I was kind of like around the time when I was first leaving the church. And like I was fascinated with that. So yeah, that psychic that I connected with that day though, like it was crazy. He told me that I would be doing this, and I was like 7, 8 years, almost 10 years before I started doing this. He told me that I would be doing this. He was like, yeah, by the time you get in your 30s, you're going to be running your own business, and it's something that you're going to be doing on the internet.
Oh and my
like,
gosh.
You're going to be connected with some sort of spirituality. And that was the realest psychic that I have ever talked to before on the phone. Because he told me so much specific things. Yeah. And he had so much like foresight into the future. And I was like, how did he do that? So it was, yeah.
Oh my God. Crazy. I bet you all
the
arms just went up on your arms and your neck.
Right, exactly.
Did you believe in
that? What's that?
Did you believe him, or did you say
Yeah, I did.
tripping on something?
The crazy part is I believed him because he told me some things that were happening in my personal life currently first.
That
And he
gets
was
me
like, yeah, this
every
is
time.
going
Yeah, this
on,
guy's the
and
real
I see that
deal.
this is happening. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I'm listening. Like, I'm listening. And
Intently.
then, right, I'm all ears. And he was like, yeah, get a pad. You might want to write this down. So then he started going like 5 years into the future, then 10 years into the future, then 15. And I was like, oh, I'm listening to this. And yeah, that was 10 years ago. And then fast forward 10 years, like everything that he was telling me, like, is becoming true, like in my recent
Oh my
life right
goodness.
now. And I'm like, who was this guy? Like, because
Yeah.
I still don't, I forget who he was and who I connected. It was one of those
Really?
psychic hotlines, but I don't know who he was, what his name was, but he was the truth.
He's
Like,
definitely an angel sent there. Just to give
yeah, so he could have been an angel. Yeah, like it was crazy.
Well, that should happen.
Yeah, and I spent a lot of money that day too, but I like
So it's worth the
he was so on point. Yeah, like I did. I had to connect. I was like, you need to keep talking because I feel
Well,
this.
this is
But
very
yeah, a lot of
similar
his stuff
path
came true.
to, sorry. This is a very similar path and experience to what I experienced with my astrologer reader. And he read into,
Got it.
you know, like 2, 3, 5, 10 years time. And even going
Yeah,
back from my past, it was like bang, bang, bang. It was all spot on. Even around the time frame, it was just so kind of like eerie but exciting. Eerie.
yeah,
It was just so much truth to it. And I felt like, okay,
yeah,
this guy's not kidding. He's the real stuff. Like no one
yeah. It's like
knows
deep,
this but me. I kept that very quiet. How does he know?
right? Like it's crazy. And
Yeah.
to be honest, like I love connecting with people that can like shoot it out so far into the future.
Yeah.
Because what I learned about tarot reading is like this is the crazy part that I don't think a lot of people know. Like we don't really predict the future for people. It's kind of like we tell you what your future can be. Like we give you a vision.
Yes.
And if it resonates with you, it's because it's what you want already. And so a lot of times we just give you that vision of like things we confirm in you the things that you already want for your future. And
When
so
you say that, sorry to interrupt you.
mhm.
When you say what people want, is that what their soul has already signed above so as below?
And yeah, that can have a lot to do with it. Yeah, yeah. Because a lot of times I do feel like it's connected to that like kind of Akashic record type of energy,
Yes.
or like yeah, like soul contracts that these people have, and it's like, but at the same time, it's like I feel that the energy of foreseeing the future is so like loose and like it's not concrete. You could change it at any time. I feel that people can even like change their contracts sometimes. Maybe not all of them, but that's how I feel about like
so
you being
cool.
able to create your own reality.
Yeah,
So I always tell people like,
go.
yeah, like you create it. So it's like you only resonate with this message because it's something that you already wanted in your future.
Yeah.
And so I'm just giving you that motivation to go get something you already wanted.
Exactly.
You know, and I like to always say that a tarot reading or a psychic like reading is not something that's written in concrete, it's written in sand. And it's like it's there and you see it, but if you want to like change it up a little bit, you could change it and add details or make it better. Like we only give you like the sand to work with, but a lot of people think it's concrete. And so I will always tell people don't give your power away to a tarot reader or to a psychic, because if it's something that doesn't sit well with you, like then it's not it. Like you can switch it up and change it.
Because most of these, you know, YouTube readings, they people forget it's a general reading. It's not personal.
Right. That's what people don't understand.
They forget about
it's
that.
General.
Even though you say that in your intro before you start your
reading,
they still like, oh, I'm just so engrossed. Yes, it's gonna happen. It's like, calm down.
Right. It's general. Like, and it will resonate with you even though it's general. But yeah, you have to remember that. Like, it's all the details may not be for you. If it doesn't sit well right for you, it's for somebody else. You know, it's like
and come to you for
what do they always say? Like chew the meat, spit out the bones.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Don't take it all.
What resonates?
Yeah.
And what doesn't?
Right. Yeah, throw it away. Like if it doesn't resonate. So
this is
hopefully, I mean, I think.
Sorry, this is why you're offering your personal readings, and that's So
Right. Yeah. Like contact me if you want to like more
yeah,
specific reading for yourself, but the generals are for everybody. So like you may only have like 5 to 10 minutes that you connect with out of a 30-minute video. Now, if you're lucky, the whole reading will sound like it's for you. You know,
yeah.
it's like that's what I try to do, but it's
Sometimes
not
I
like
felt
that for
that.
everybody. So
I'm thinking,
yeah, it
okay,
just
is he reading
depends.
about me? He's like, how does he know that? Okay, I'm gonna say
Right.
too real.
Yeah, it's always funny to like hear people say that in the comments, like, "How did you know that about my life? This is weird." Like, how did you know specifically? I'm like, I
Like
don't
a
know. I
weirdo.
don't. I'm just putting it out. Yeah,
What's he
it's really
tripping
not
on?
me. It's like a spiritual energy that connects with your energy. And
Yeah,
the crazy part is I still can't explain how I get messages and how it all like works out to be accurate. I still don't know how it happens. I just
universal
like
intelligence.
read what I read in the cards.
Don't
Yeah, and I
dissect it, man.
say it and it happens. Yeah, so
Oh my
it's
god.
weird.
So you basically
Yeah,
get like a concoction mix of cocktails of spirit guides and all. You'd be like, okay,
right.
just spit out whatever they want me to say. And
Yeah, that's all I do. Yeah, when it comes, I say it and it just like lays. I do try to, I will say on my channel, I try to put it together in a way to where it's like a little artistic or it's like it all comes together as like one story. So that's the only thing that I consciously try to do. But
Yeah,
with the messages themselves, I don't know what I'm about to say and what's coming out. It's just like when the camera goes on, it's like action and I just do it. So
yeah.
it's crazy that way.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Chris, thank you for being on this show. Thank you so much for
no
spending
problem.
this fabulous time. I had such a ball just getting to know you and just
Same.
learning from your journey and your experience and how far you've actually come to now. It's like, it's, it's so beautiful and it's so much strength and courageous and so much love. There's warmth there. And what
Right.
what I love about you is how authentic and genuine you are when you deliver your words. They just
Wow.
so resonate, and it's like you treat your audience like they are your old friends, and it's like this is like a
Yes.
backyard barbecue here, you know.
Right.
It's just being
Exactly.
like that, and I love that. So thank
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. Like and that's how I try to make it. Just like as laid back and chill as I can so that you can listen to this wherever you are and just feel like you're talking to me or having a conversation. So yeah. And I do want to say thank you for having me on. Like I
you.
love doing stuff like this. And I love podcasts too. I haven't really been invited to many podcasts, maybe like one or two before this. So I'm glad
Spread
that
the
you
word,
like
man. Look
yeah,
for
like
more invites, okay?
right, definitely. I appreciate it. And to
Oh,
be honest, I want to start something like this myself. So when
yeah.
I actually get it going, I will invite you and
Oh,
like have you
woo!
on because like
Oh,
I like the
yeah.
return of the favor. Yeah, like, and I like what you're doing. Like I saw a lot of the other stuff that you did with other people in your other interviews or talks,
I guess.
and yeah, it's pretty good. Like I like the vibe behind it, and it's relaxed and putting a lot of people on to a lot of different knowledge from other areas of life.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Like yeah, I
Oh,
like
thanks, bro. Mwah,
it.
mwah, mwah,
Yeah,
mwah.
no problem, no problem.
Oh,
Definitely.
thank you. Is there anything else you wish to share with us before we wrap it up?
I think that is it. If you haven't checked out my channel, you can check it out. It's called Chris Anthony. If you type in Chris Anthony Tarot, I think it comes up in the search engine.
Mhm.
So yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will
And
see
for
you
any
guys
personal
in the.
readings, do they send you an email on your Gmail one? Is that correct?
Yeah. Chris Anthony Tarot at gmail.com if you want to get a personal reading with me, and then we set it up and go from there. So Chris Anthony. Yeah, what is it? Chris Anthony Tarot at gmail.com. I never say that email. I always like type it.
I'll type it in down and get.
And if you want, you can, okay, that'll work. Yeah. And if you guys want, you can follow me on IG too at Chris Anthony 14LBS, Chris Anthony 14 pounds. I try to do like artistic, spiritual messages on that page. So not really any readings there, but you know, I think you've seen it. It's more
Yeah.
just like posts that I do for like motivation or things like that. So I plan on doing like a lot more on IG too, if you guys want to check that out.
Loving the
Yeah.
vibe, man. Keep doing what you're doing too, bro. Love it.
Yes.
Thank
I
you so much
appreciate you.
again. You have a lovely
Definitely.
evening. Don't work too hard. Remember, only 3 readings a night, okay? Okay.
Right. I'll try to remember that.
I
Definitely.
still
I
want
will
you to
try.
do those Leo readings, all right?
I got you. Leo, I got you. I'll remember you when I do the Leo readings.
Thank you, babe.
Definitely.
Mwah.
No problem. You have a good day.
We'll catch
All right,
up
later.
soon. Okay, bye, hon.
All right, bye-bye.